All right, so the good old boy network of coaching is upset that Coach Prime switched play callers, which lets me know, as I've always thought, college coaching may not always be about the greatest or the best coach. A lot of times it's about who you know. There's a lot of great high school coaches that could be college coaches, a lot of great trainers, guys that have been around football their whole life. But that's besides the point. We could go on and on about good coach, bad coach. The point is, if you understand football, Sean Lewis has to understand that you can't just tempo. You have to understand what's going on in the game. When you're up 29 nothing at halftime, you shouldn't have to throw the ball 50 times. If you ran the ball 50 times, or let's say just 40 times and threw it 10 times, you probably beat Stanford pretty easily because there's no time left on the clock. Last week, 4 turnovers in the first half and only 6 points. If they would have just got hell, if they had just had Mata kick a field goal for every one of those points and took 3 minutes off the clock each drive, I mean, that's 4 times. That's 12 plus 6. That's still 18 points at halftime and time off the clock, even if they did lose in the second half. So, my thing is, all these pansies and these pundits getting talking about they baffled and saying, "Oh, Sean Lewis could be a head coach." Listen, if y'all think Sean Lewis going to replace Dino Babers at Syracuse, go ahead. If y'all think he's good enough to be a Power Five head coach, go ahead. But guess what? He's going to have to learn how to do something other than the same plays he's running. And when them shits don't work, repeat it. I mean, look at last week. Dylan was still running into the back of the damn offensive lineman, right into the back of him. And that's not the type of running back he is. Anybody who's ever coached before or knows anything about football, hell, even the Madden Kings know, stretch right, stretch left, lead right, lead left. I don't think I've seen those plays one time used with Dylan. One time. The first play last week, or excuse me, the first series last week, they went out there and they spread the ball around. I said, okay, good. And then come series 2 or 3, he went back doing the same thing and the same result. And it's like 3 and out, and taking no time off the clock, just giving UCLA tons of time to either get back in it or run the score up. I saw the same thing in the second half of Stanford, and that Stanford loss, my gosh, that was bad. And I want everybody to understand, Coach Prime didn't fire Sean Lewis. He just said they're co-offensive coordinators, and they're probably going to have Pat Shurmur call plays. Pat Shurmur, being an NFL coach, understands the right time to call the right play. Behind, in the lead, trying to get back in the game, however you want to call it. And I'll leave everybody with this. Monday Night Football game earlier this year, the Eagles were playing the Buccaneers. And I think it was like 11 minutes left on the clock. And Baker Mayfield had just took the Bucks down and they scored, right? So it was looking like, okay, they're about to get back in the game. The Eagles methodically moved their way down the field and took all 11 minutes off that clock. And if they wanted to, guys, and if anybody remembers that game, they did a combination of run pass. They just did an amazing drive. And if the Eagles wanted to, they could have scored. But what did they do instead? They just took a damn knee and got out of there with the win. No need. Matthew Hackett, I know they had the revenge game in Denver this year where they beat the Broncos, but one of the things I think got Hackett fired was there was a game where the Broncos had took all the timeouts or whatever from the last team, and they were up like 2 points. All they had to do was take a knee. Instead, he tried to go for the end zone, and the other team caught the damn ball, and then they went down and won by a field goal to like like it was like a 50-something yard field goal. So a lot of times you can be a great offensive coordinator, you can know all these plays, you can design, you can be averaging 32 points a game, but you have to understand what to call, when to call, how to call, because it can lose you the game. And it's no reason for there to be turnovers and the defense be right back on the field 45 seconds later. That's ridiculous. Remember, guys, if it doesn't work out, it's a bold move by Coach Prime, and it falls back on him. But I don't think so much he fired Sean Lewis. I think he more just wants somebody who understands tempo, in-game strategies. Like, if they're defending this, what are you going to do? Or if you get a lead, How do you methodically, put a drive together that, you know, put some points along with taking time off the clock? Because when you do it like that, it puts pressure on the other team to have to score quickly, which is not an easy task. So we'll see what happens, guys. Peace.